Hello my friends and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Solo Mode Decks Overview Part 16. So I'll go through the Delightful Dwellers of Darkness now. This is the Ghostrick Solo Mode gate. Okay, so first things first, the pure, just to get a feel for the decks. So here's the first one, Littering Ghostrick. And the deck description reads, this deck excels at tactics that skillfully avoid the opponent's attacks using the position changing effects of Ghostricks. Prepare for your attack while blocking your opponent's attack with Ghostrick Lantern and adding Ghostrick monsters to your hand with Ghostrick Jiangshi. When you have multiple monsters of the same level, surprise your opponent with an Exceed summon. Notably, Ghostrick Angel of Mischief can be Exceed summoned by sacking on top of another Ghostrick Exceed monster. So yeah, basically Ghostricks are really good at stopping attacks or stopping your opponent from attacking them, basically with their field spell right here. And they have a few different field spells. This is showing off all three of them. Yeah, see, all of these are basically there to help stave off attacks to your face down defense position monsters, because they can like flip themselves up and then flip themselves face down again in order to like do it again next turn. So yeah, and also they have ways of like making it so that your opponent can't flip summon. One of them does that. Ghostrick Knight, and others have ways of like setting your opponent's monsters face down, so that Ghostrick Knight is basically able to apply its effects, not allowing that your opponent to flip them back face up. Also, you could play some of the book cards like Book of Moon. Book of Eclipse doesn't really work because like that like flips them face up again automatically. But like Book of Lunar Eclipse, I'm not sure if it's in the game, but that also like just like turns them face down without turning them face up again. So yeah, cards like that would also be pretty useful for like in conjunction with Ghostrick Knight. The only thing is like basically like you have to have a face up Ghostrick monster. That's not too hard with your Ghostrick Exceeds, since they're like fairly powerful enough to be able to hold their own even in face-up attack position. And then like even if you go into a really low level Ghostrick monster that's not going to have very high attack, you can always swap it out for Ghostrick Angel of Mischief if you want. And then you can like always just stall out the Ghostrick Angel of Mischief until you eventually get 10 materials on this card, because once per turn you get to attach a Ghostrick card. However, if you use the first effect with the second effect a whole bunch, like it's gonna be pretty hard for you to get to 10. So like you kind of gotta be smart like with how you want to do it. Like, do you want to just go for the do you want to go for the 10 material win, or do you want to like just keep getting advantage? So you kind of gotta think of your game plan with Mischief, how you want to do it. Sometimes you want to go for the 10 material win. Sometimes you just want to use her to gain advantage. And then they have Link 1 as well. It allows you to use a face down Ghostrick material, Ghostrick cards material, which is nice because none of the Ghostricks allow you to normal summon themselves unless you already have a Ghostrick on your field face up. So but you can still set them, and so this way like you can still go into Ghostrick Festival right away if you wish. And then this one's nice because when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you basically just get to special summon Ghostrick monster from your deck. So basically you set something. If you don't like what you set, you can always trade out for this, and then this can basically get you into any Ghostrick monster from your deck, which is pretty nice. And then Mary and Lantern and Spectre also pretty good at... Wait, no. Not really Spectre, but Lantern and Mary are really good at, like, turning the direct attacks either into advantage or, like, negating it entirely. Because Mansion, Museum, and Parade works with, like, direct attacks. And the cool thing about, like, these guys, the Lantern and the Mary, in conjunction with the Mansion, Museum, or Parade, is they all say when they declare direct attack. Or at least this one says when they declare direct attack. So you can still negate it. What that means is you can still negate it with Lantern and still get the effect of Parade, allowing you to add something from your deck to your hand, which is pretty cool. So, and then Metaverse for getting out the... Oh, Metaverse is limited in this game. Okay, Terraforming and Metaverse. It's just that Metaverse is at 3 in the TCG now, but Terraforming is still limited. Which I think it's fine, because, like, are there really, like, a lot of oppressive, like, field spells that's going to be broken with Metaverse? I mean, it's nice that Metaverse is... It's nice when Metaverse is unlimited, because that means you can actually use Trap Trick to get... Yeah, because you need at least 2 copies in order to be able to Trap Trick a certain trap. Anyway. So that's pretty much a deck there. And then here's the opponent's deck. See, once again, my opponent's not even using an extra deck. Yeah, seeing what I was talking about. Oh, here's... Oh, this one is the opposite of Book of Moon. Yeah, see, I was thinking Book of... Yeah, see, Book of Moon. I guess Book of Lunar Eclipse may not be in this game yet. The deck description of this reads, most Ghostrick monsters have low attack, but the surprise attacks they can perform with a hidden tool are a powerful tool. For example, if there are multiple Ghostrick monsters on your field, Ghostrick Ghoul can make the attack of one monster of your choice equal to the sum of the attack. It's a powerful combo if you increase the attack of Ghostrick Stein, which allows you to add a Ghostrick Spell or Trap card to your hand when you inflict battle damage to your opponent. Yeah, Ghostrick Stein is like... Which one is it? Oh wait, no, yeah, Ghostrick Stein also requires you. But Ghostrick Stein is one of the few Ghostricks that don't actually, like, have, like, that isn't, like, based on, like, flipping it face up in order to get an effect. And rather, it has higher attack, hopefully allowing you to inflict battle damage to get its effect instead. Yeah, because I guess it would be a pretty powerful effect if it were just, like, flipping it to, like, add a Ghostrick Spell or Trap. It's kind of like, a less powerful version of Ghostrick Angel of Mischief in a way. Since Ghostrick Angel of Mischief also adds you a Ghostrick Spell or Trap. That's just by, like, detaching a material, though. That's, like, probably, like, better in a lot of circumstances. Yeah, I'll cycle through. I don't think it really matters all that much because, like, this is probably mostly the same anyway. See, Jack Frost. Oh, Jack Frost is another card that kind of is like stave off direct attacks as well. So there are actually 3 different monsters. She doesn't really stave off direct attacks, but she kind of punishes your opponent for, like, declaring damage to you. And she's cool because, like even if your opponent isn't, like, going with bow damage, she can still activate off of effect damage, allowing you to get something. So that's pretty cool. Ghostrick Witch. this is another one that can allow you to like flip monsters in the face down defense position that you could play in conjunction with the one that doesn't allow your opponent to flip summon while you control the Ghostrick. Oh, you can also play snow as well. Like maybe you could play like a grass looks greener snow. Though you might want to be yeah, grass looks greener snow deck. Like though like spoiler, because I didn't really go through those the forbidden limit list, but I did look at like a video about it, so I did notice that grass looks greener is getting semi-limit, which I don't think it's actually that big of a deal. It's going down from 3 to 2. I don't think like that's as big of a deal as people are making out to be. Sure, it becomes a little bit less consistent, and you really do want to see grass looks greener as soon as possible, like pretty much in your opening hand, or else it can quickly just become dead. But I still think it should be pretty good, like even at 2, like just to play it, like, and like you might still, might still be worth playing 6 cards. I don't know how big a video going from 3 to 2 really is. But like if you wanted to play a grass looks greener with the Ghostricks, you could play snow in it as well. And that's another card that can flip your opponent's monsters into face down defense position. So that's another way you can do it. And the cool thing about snow is that when like she can just like keep specialing summoning herself even during the same turn if she's sent to the graveyard during that same turn. And then that could get really like kind of nasty if she's able to like flip face down all of the opponent's monsters. There's also that one trap pull that like when an opponent summons a monster, it puts into face down, and then your opponent is then able to like flip it face up again. So that kind of acts as like a one card like combo that you're trying to do anyway, keep your opponent from flipping them face up again. You could like try out like that kind of like version, like where like basically what you're trying to do is keep your opponent from being able to flip summon anything, but they can still like tribute or like maybe like do other things with their monsters, like use them as fusion summons if they're playing a fusion deck. So it doesn't like totally stop them from making plays, but depending on the deck, like it can be pretty brutal. And like I think a lot of decks would still kind of find that annoying, because like then you can't really go into link plays. So at least there's that, and a lot of different decks really like their links. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and this is another way to like change a lot of your opponent's monsters to face down defense position. So that could be pretty good too. Like this is probably a good card to run in that sort of like your opponent can't flip summon style of the deck. Yeah, there's probably like a few different ways you could play this deck. You could either basically play it as like where you're basically trying to control your opponent, stopping them from being able to like go into the X deck, hopefully. But you might want to have a backup plan in case your opponent's on like a fusion strategy, or like maybe like a tribute based strategy, like that's just one way I was thinking of it, which could be kind of fun. I just don't really like the deck because like it's kind of slow. And I mean, like, control decks are fun, but this seems like a really, really slow control deck. And you kind of got to know what you're doing, I think, too. Like, you kind of always got to, like, know exactly what you're searching for. I don't really like decks that, like, do a ton of searching. I think I like more control decks that like don't do a ton of searching. That are more just like about like flipping up. I mean, you can flip up floodgates. Definitely, I would say the rivalry is probably... Actually, you could play just the, I guess... Maybe you could play like something like this where you're just playing like one type of Ghostrick. Like the zombies might... There might be the most of the zombie Ghostricks, so maybe you could do something like that. Though the Exceeds kind of, do... But you could just play less of the Ghostrick Exceeds that are like of non-zombie types, and then just play like more zombie type X deck cards, more generic ones. And then you could play like a rivalry and a Gozen match, like both of them, like, and then just make sure that everything's dark, which shouldn't be too hard, because there's a lot of really good dark zombies as well. So you could go that route too, like where you're basically like going in a mono type Ghostrick deck, maybe like even mono attribute, and then just play both like Gozen and rivalry. I'm not sure if they're both at 3 still, but it could be pretty good. There can only be one. I don't know. Could you do that? You might be able to play there can only be one and then just be smart about it. But I think that might be kind of difficult. I think Gozen and rivalry are much easier to work around. But if you can find a way for there can only be one to be good, it certainly is. I mean, that's probably arguably the strongest of the 3. But I think rivalry and Gozen, like having both of those, like should be like still really good against a lot of decks. Anyway, oh yeah, summon limit might be pretty good in this deck too, since I don't think this deck really like is looking to like summon a whole bunch anyway, so it's not really gonna affect them. Yeah, I guess that's one of the nice things about the Ghostrick deck. Like they could probably run quite a few different floodgates and still do pretty well behind them. Still make all their plays like if set up in the proper way. This isn't a very good zombie card though. I think Mizuki or Gozuki would probably be better. Probably Mizuki because it special summons something from the graveyard. How does this work? And the cool thing about Lantern is you could still play this. I think, I'm not sure exactly how this works, if it's like special summoning itself and face down defense, if you would be still able to activate this if you have a zombie monster on the field. And you have like, whichever one stops you from summoning like whichever one like locks you into one specific typing. I'm not sure if it would be able to activate if you have that card and a zombie already, because it's especially summoning it in defense position, in face down defense position. So it would be like, and usually you're able to like set things still, like set different typings under. It's either rivalry or Gozen match. I always get confused about which is which. The one that focuses on types though. But since this is special summoning it itself in a face down defense, I'm not sure if that counts as just setting it. I don't think you would be able to. So maybe you could just like not play that and like just like go full zombie, and that could still be pretty good. You could probably even mix in a few other zombie archetypes, maybe even too. Like the Vendreads could be good in a full zombie Ghostrick deck. Yeah, that could get pretty fun too. Like, and then you could like play that with like the no flipping style or like variation of it, or you could just play it with the like just like the floodgate variation and don't even care about your opponent can't flip summon that one card. Yeah, so I think that's good at least, like, at least with this deck, like, there's different ways you could build into it. I also noticed, like, the opponent, it wasn't exactly Ghostrick, but it was kind of, like, utilizing, like, the, Ghostrick Angel of Mischief kind of winning in one turn. I mean, it was really inconsistent, but, like, I did, like, notice, like, a video, like, about, like, how you could, like, potentially win in one turn in this. But it's definitely really inconsistent, so it definitely, like, stuff like that does seem to be fun though. And it's cool that, like, there's at least, like, some sort of way you can, like, win in one turn with that, with this card. Definitely better to try to just, like, play, like, one of these more consistent variations of the Ghostrick though. Anyway. Oh yeah, this is called Littering Ghostricks. Oh, I don't think I've read the deck description. Reducing an opponent's life points to 0 is not the only way to win a duel. Let's try to win in various ways. There are other effective tactics, such as using the effective Ghostrick Skeleton to banish cards in the opponent's deck, or soul-absorbing Bone Tower to send cards in the opponent's deck to the graveyard. We also recommend trying to win a duel with the effective Ghostrick Angel of Mischief that gives you victory when its number of exceed materials reaches 10. Oh yeah, I did win a few times with the with that alternate win with the Ghostrick Angel of Mischief, and the animation for that is kind of cool. But yeah, usually it's better to just try to win, like, by, like, inflicting enough damage to kill the opponent. And another good thing is, like, if you can basically keep your opponent, like, off your Ghostricks for enough time, you could eventually use them to go into your different links and then eventually go into access code. And then you can just win with access code in a single turn. You would need, like, one other thing, like, but, like, basically you just wait until you're able to get an access code and then, like, a little bit more damage so that you can get game that way. But you would want to make sure that you don't have the field spell out that keeps you from taking damage, or maybe don't even play that one at all. Since I'm not sure how good that one is, like, this is probably the best of the field spells, since it allows you to add a Ghostrick every time your opponent... Oh, yeah, this is the one where your opponent takes no damage. So you kind of want to make sure that, like, you're off this field spell by the time you're ready to, like, get that OTK. So yeah. And then here's the opponent's deck here. Jump Scare Ghostrick, it's called. Deck description. Level 1 Ghostrick monsters can be special summoned by effects that activate from the hand in response to an opponent's move. Use these to aggressively aim to exceed summon rank 1 monsters such as number 13 Embodiment of Prime and number 31 Embodiment of Punishment. If you use Ghostrick Museum to guide the opponent's attacker, you may be able to damage the opponent as well. Oh yeah, the level 1s are pretty good because, like, a few of them can just special summon themselves. Like, this one special summons itself, this one special summons itself, and then on your next turn you just, like, flip it face up, since it doesn't count as being normal summon if it just if you flip summon it. So you can still flip summon them after you, like, special summon themselves during the opponent's turn. And then you can, like, normal summon one of your other level 1s. And then you can, like, go into one of your rank 1s. And some of the rank 1s here are pretty good. This one draws all attacks to it. And then also causes your opponent to take damage every time they attack into it. This one also... Yeah, this one... Yeah, see, and they also change all monsters your opponent controls to face up attack. So even if they're in face down, it's not going to help. So that's really good. Like, your opponent could potentially take a whole bunch of damage. The all hand's not bad. You have a monster's attack, although it is kind of anti-synergistic with the embodiments, because like you do want the opponent's monsters to be as high attack as possible, since basically your aim is to try to like OTK your opponent by like having a bunch of the monsters attacking into these. But it does allow you to get a Ghostrick card, like, and that's any card, so this is like a recursion. Oh yeah, and then Lionheart kind of basically does the same thing. Although it only like is able to like work, like it has to detach every time it battles something. But if you don't have any materials, it still kind of works. It's just that you also take damage, and it doesn't also like it's also not as good of a magnet because it doesn't force your opponent to. Oh wait, no. It doesn't force the opponent to have to attack. So yeah, these are definitely going to be a lot better as magnets than this one. And then this is good because it like destroys set cards, which can also include the monsters that you set off of various cards. I kind of explained those. And then here's some of the new ones. Goblin King just gains a little bit of attack, mostly just uses Ring Material. Although it could potentially gain quite a bit of attack, like if you have like a field full of fiends, which you do have a few fiends, so you could potentially get up to high attack. But probably better just to use that as Exceed Material. This could have probably been maybe replaced with something else, since I think more of the goal is to try to go into your exceeds as soon as possible, the rank 1 exceeds. Kinkabiu is a really good card because it special summons level 1 from the graveyard. So after you do so maybe in the late game when you have like your graveyard a little bit more full, you could like basically make this into a 1 card rank 1 exceed play. And just make sure you have one in the graveyard. Grave Squirmer destroys a card on the field when it's destroyed by battle. Stygian Security special summons a level 1 fiend straight from the deck. So it has to be a fiend only, and it has to be when it's destroyed by battle, but you could always just attack and it's something to pocket. Unfortunately, all of your fiends are the ones that like kinda would rather be in the hand, so it probably would have been better if it just like simply like added them to your hand, but I mean, again, like it's good for setting up your plays, I guess. And since they're being special summoned, they can like go into face up position, so at least like then like maybe like if you can still normal summon something, you can then just normal summon a Ghostrick since you have a face up Ghostrick on the field. 1 for 1 to get out your level 1s. We're off thou because it allows you to add any level 1 like your Kinkabiu. And then the 2 Ghostrick Museums, Ghostrick Parade, like to stave off direct attacks, and this one allows you to add Ghostricks. You probably just pretty much want to like max out. Probably just play this card since I think this one is arguably the best one. But like, actually no, I think it's actually good to play like different field spells maybe. Like if you don't really have an easy way of like just destroying this, you might want to consider playing different field spells, whatever that may mean. Just so like then you can get rid of this card when you're ready to go for game, since this one makes it so that your opponent doesn't take damage. So it's really hard to go for a normal game if you have this one out. Although maybe you could try Runic Ghostrick. I'm not sure how good that would be, but at least then, like, you wouldn't have to worry about your opponent taking no damage text of this card. And then Dimension Wall, another way, but like, I mean, I think on their own the embodiments kind of have it covered, so you probably don't even really need to play Dimension Wall. That's just another way your opponent takes battle damage instead of you. So yeah, this deck is pretty much really focused on your opponent just basically killing themselves via battle damage. Kind of like, and like if your and like there's cards that even force your opponent to attack when they don't want to. Seed Reborn to get out one of your seeds again, so it helps revive your embodiments when your opponent tries to get rid of them. Embodiment probably one of the better seeds just for this strategy here. And then Ghostrick Break. You can special summon back your Ghostricks. So, and then you can use them for another seed play. I don't know which one is the better of the two. I think they're both like fairly equal in strength. But at least now you have like 6 ways of like magnetizing your opponent, forcing you to attack them. I think they're pretty much the same, aren't they? I don't know. Destroyed by battle card effects while it has Exceeding Tail. Yeah. So literally just the same, but just the different names so that you can like run more copies of it, I guess. They both call for 2 level 1s as well. Same attack and defense. They're only rares though, so like it wouldn't be too hard to like craft these if this is like how you want to do it. So at least there's that too. And these are URs. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go into the last deck now. I want to kind of be quick because it's already getting to be long. So here's the last one. It's called Repairing Ghostrick. The deck description reads, this deck focuses on the compatibility of Doom King Balladrock and Ghostrick, which deploys field spells and consists of multiple zombie monsters, multiple zombie type monsters. For example, when a zombie type Ghostrick monster activates an effect to make itself face down defense position, you can change the effect of Doom King Balladrock to banish a monster from the opponent's field or graveyard. This can be a powerful combo. Also try to utilize Ghostrick Renovation and switch field spells as you fight. Yeah, this is probably a really good way to use a zombie focused Ghostrick deck. Like this isn't how it's going because like using more than that's just the zombies. But if you did want to create a pure zombie type Ghostrick deck, this would probably be one of the better ways of like playing it. Because like then like Zombie World gains a lot of effectiveness. Zombie World is probably a good one to play in if you're playing with Rivalry and goes a match anyway. Because like the cool thing about like playing Zombie World with the one that forces your opponent to only one type is as long as they're not already playing zombies, like since like it makes everything a zombie, your opponent can't really go into anything. Because even if they had like originally had a mono type deck, if it wasn't zombie, like they wouldn't be able to like normal summon from the hand, because like Rivalry checks, I'm pretty sure Rivalry checks for it before for their summons. So because they're not zombies while in the hand, your opponent also can't just like summon them while it's either rivalry or goes in matches on the field. I keep forgetting which one is about the typings. I don't know. But yeah, I think that is how it is. And same thing with like X deck plays too. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look up. I think it is rivalry. I think rivalry is the one. Yeah, no, it is rivalry. Yeah, so rivalry is on the field with the zombie world. If your opponent's playing a non-zombie deck, they wouldn't be able to summon something, summon stuff out of their hand or deck. I think they would still be able to summon stuff out of their graveyard. So that's the only thing. If they have ways of like summoning out of their graveyard, this kind of helps with that, since like everything in the graveyard also becomes zombies. So if they like want like more than one typing and they have a bunch of monsters in the graveyard as well, that's the only thing. Like it kind of sucks, like because now your opponent maybe like can summon things out of the graveyard they couldn't normally summon while there was the rivalry. But still, like most players is like it still hurts them in a lot of important ways, like with the hand, with the X deck, with the deck, stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, and Zombie World is also really good in this. Yeah, so you probably, like, if you were to play a deck this yourself like this, you probably would just want to play 3 Parade and 3 Zombie World. Like, you could maybe start with the Parade, and then after you're pretty much done with the Parade, like, and you want to inflict damage again, you can then move into Zombie World. But of course, if you have Rivalry, you might just want to put out Zombie World right away. This deck isn't playing Rivalry, but like that would be another card to play, and then just basically like make it into more of a zombie-centric deck, Ghostrick deck combined with a zombie-centric other cards. This is probably not very good because like but Necro World Banshee is really good since she allows you to activate Zombie World directly from your hand or deck. And what you can do is you can basically make sure you have one saved in the graveyard, and then like when you're done with the Parade, like that's like a way you can like quick effect switch to the Zombie World so that your opponent can take damage again. And then Generator isn't bad either. It's kind of like another version of Jackal Bull in a way, allowing you to... But instead of like Jackal Bull, like it does have the upside of not forcing you to have to banish the monster that you summon out unless you're using it as Exceed Material. But it does force you to tribute something in order to... So this is more of a 1-for-1 than like this one is, because like this one you do banish it, but then you get it back. Whereas with this one, like whatever you're tributing, you don't get back, like during the end phase of something. But they are both quick effects, which is pretty nice. And then Doom King Balladrock is really good. You probably should just max on 3 if you're running a deck like this, since especially with Zombie World on the field, like basically anytime your opponent activates any monster effect, you are able to activate one of these effects. And you can do that twice, but you have to like do a different effect each time. So you kind of want to be smart, like which one do you want to negate? Which one, when do you want to do the banish? And then Glow Up Bloom also really good because this allows you to special summon any of your high level zombie monsters like your Jack-o'-Bolin, the Generator, or the Doom King. Probably want to have this at 3 as well. Maybe even the Necro World Banshee at 3. I'm not sure. But definitely Foolish Spirit would be another good card for this deck. Book of Life, really good. Probably want to max on Book of Life. Just because, like, that banishing, like, a monster in the opponent's graveyard can be really good, too. I don't know if you necessarily need Book of Life, but it's not a bad card. Especially if your opponent needs, like, a specific monster in the graveyard. This could be really disruptive in certain matchups. Zombie Necronize allows you to take control of opponent's monsters, and it's pretty easy to activate since this guy can just keep special summoning himself during the standby phase. As long as you have any colony field zone, which is really cool, it doesn't have to be Zombie World. And then Haunted Shrine is basically another revival card for the zombies. But it can, like, revive 2. But the second revival is, requires you to have no monsters. So it might be kind of hard to get that second revival off. And then also a few of the Shiranuis. These are really good because they're generic. You could play this with Yukiona, which is right here. Wait, no, not the Yukiona. There's another link. There's another link. I forget what it is though, but I think there's another zombie link that can, like, help revive one of your zombie synchros, like by banishing it from the grave or something. So that's also a really good one to play. I think I'm not exactly sure what it's called though, but I think there's another zombie link that does that. I don't know. Anyway, Avenger also really good because it basically acts like as another way to mill your zombies if you were to have Foolish Spirit, and if you can keep him on the field, you can potentially get a lot of zombies in the graveyard that way. And also the cool thing is, like, you can, like, if you, like, use the first effect, you can still use the second effect in the same turn. So if you run 2 of these guys, you could, like, go into one, and once that one dies, you go into another one, and then you use that first effect. I think I already said, but it's really cool like that. You can use the first effect to get the other Vendread back into your X deck, the other Vendread Savior. And then you can still use the second effect in that same turn. So I figure, why not? Like, if you have the room to play 2, why not? Because then you can kind of do that and then keep looping them so you can make sure you always have them available. Yeah. And then Vampire Sucker is cool because, like, if you wanted to tribute any of the guys, which you technically can, since they don't restrict you from tributing for them, you could just tribute your opponent's monsters while Zombie War is on the field, since Zombie War makes everything a zombie, and then you can tribute anything to get out your high level zombies. And if they're like a two tribute monster, even better, because then you can just tribute, I think, both of them. And then even if Zombie World is on the field with the Vampire Sucker, you can still just, like, use her effect to get a monster out of your opponent's graveyard, make it a zombie, and then use that as tribute fodder. And then this one's called the All-Seeing Ghostrick. This is utilizing the Prediction Princess plus the Ghostrick. And then the deck description here reads, this deck focuses on the compatibility of Ghostrick and Prediction Princess, which have effects that activate when flipped face up. The key is to use the effect of the trump card Prediction Princess Tarot Tray. Since Ghostrick monsters are not flip monsters, the effect of special summon will be used for Prediction Princess monsters, but the effect that changes the battle position of monsters can be utilized for both Ghostrick monsters and Prediction Princess monsters. Draw out the effect on the opponent's turn to disrupt this strategy. Yeah, you could also use other strategies with the, you could utilize maybe even the crawlers in a deck like this, since they're also since they also gain effects when they're flip face up. So there's quite a few different ways you can go with a flip centric style of the Ghostrick deck. And also, there's that one card that revives something from your graveyard face down, which could be utilized. And then, there's, a card that, can, add any flip monster from your deck to your hand. You can also use that. Anyway, there's, quite a few cards that, could, help you with this. Ghostrick Lantern. I already kind of went over the Ghostrick, so it kind of starts here, the new stuff. So yeah, this one special summons a level 3 or higher flip from your hand or deck. So yeah, this could also get you the crawlers if you were playing those, because I think there are a few crawlers that might be level 3 or higher, even just not that one really high level crawler that's level 9. But I think this might allow you to get that level 9 one, so this could be a really good way of getting to that really big crawler, which I forget the name of, because I'm not sure if it has any special summon restrictions. Prediction Princess Petal Elf. Change all face-up attack to your opponent controls face-up defense. So basically just changing battle positions. And then this could be kind of and then these two could kind of go together. This one puts them into defense, and this one will just destroy all of them. And the cool thing about this one is even if you set them, it will still destroy those as well. So you could utilize them with the Ghostrick cards that put your opponent's monsters into defense. Ghostrick Fairy. Oh yeah, this also puts monsters into face down defense position, so you could also do that little combo with the fairy plus this. And then Manju adds your ritual monsters or spells. And then I think it's this one that allows you to to change the battle positions of your monsters to get the flip face up effects. And the cool thing about her is that it's a quick effect, so you could get the effects of either the Prediction Princesses or the Ghostricks on your opponent's turn, which is really nice for something like this, because then it can kind of stop the battle phase if you activate the Prediction Princess on this one during the battle phase, and then suddenly now your opponent, assuming that they didn't have any links, it can kind of stop the battle phase. This one adds a ritual spell, this one adds a ritual monster, but I think the ones that just add a ritual spell or monster, actually from your deck or graveyard, that's kind of nice. That one archetype that supports rituals, incantations, would probably be a good fit in a deck like this too. And then this is a ritual spell for the deck. From your hand or field. And then Burst Rebirth. I think, yeah, the one that is like there's also like kind of a spell version of this card that also special summons something. It special summons something from your opponent's graveyard to face down defense as well. But I still feel like it's better than this card because it's not a trap. You can like the only thing like is that like this can like at least can activate during your opponent's turn, and it can be trap tricked, which is kind of nice. But I still feel like that other one that's like a spell instead is probably like better for the most part. I don't know. You could play with this with trap trick, and that might be really good. I don't know. You can decide which you think is better. That might actually be the better one, since like it doesn't also revive something for your opponent. Okay, and then end the battle phase. That's really good. Like that's probably a fine one for this deck, because you're probably gonna end up having a lot of face down defense position monsters. And then ending the battle phase also helps to keep your opponent from being able to attack your monsters. But however, the Ghostrick Mansion, the field spell is also kind of nice, because like they protect any of your face down defense position monsters and not just Ghostricks, so that's pretty nice. Although I guess it would be kind of hard, because like how would they do it if like they only protected face down Ghostricks? I don't think that would really work anyway. And then looks like the only really new card in the X deck is like the Cross Sheep, and this is used because the fusion, or no, ritual, because of the ritual effect, which the ritual effect is actually really good. Allowing you to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. I mean, technically the exceed effect is also there, like, which could be kind of nice, but it doesn't. But I don't think you can really like exceed someone on your opponent's turn, and so it's probably this is probably like would be really good if you could exceed someone on your opponent's turn, because then this could be like as a kind of a surprise, like lowering attack a bunch, but it could still be good. If you like need to like lower it maybe a little bit, because a little bit too high of attack. Anyway, so those are pretty much the decks. Thank you all who stayed for the overviews. I don't really have time for a pack opening, so I'll just end it here, just because deck overviews always seem to take a while, but I want to like try to get through like a gate of video, just like so I can get through it a little bit quicker. But I probably won't be able to do that for the SP deck challenges, since there's so many different decks there. But at least like doing it this way, I'll be able to get done with the main gates by next week, and then that'll be pretty nice. Anyway, thank you all who did stay for the deck overviews, whichever ones you did stay for. If you stay for all of them, like thank you, like that helps even more. And if you stay for the whole video, that helps the most. But I mean, like even if you just stay for one of them, that's still like at least 30 seconds. So that's all it really takes to count as a view. So that's nice as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the outro now. Please like, share, and subscribe, and consider ringing that notification bell for regular content. You can either ring the notification bell to be notified of all my videos, or personalized by simply clicking the notification bell and selecting all or personalized. All is being notified about all my videos, whether you watch them or not, and personalized is being notified of the videos that you watch the most. Also, if you would like to leave a comment, that would be greatly appreciated. You can leave a comment about anything, either pertaining to the video, pertaining to the verse I leave in the description, or just something random if you'd like. Just please keep it appropriate. You can even leave an emote if you would like, but just be aware that it may lock you out if you paste too many of the same emote in a day, just in case, like, if you decide one day you just paste emotes on a whole bunch of my videos. Just keep that in mind. Usually you can fix that by either going with a different emote or by posting multiples of that emote instead of just the one. And thank you everyone who do watch my videos, and a big thanks to those who do watch all of my videos, but still thank you to everyone who only watches a couple once in a while, or just watches one of the games. I understand how it is, no matter how you do it. It's just appreciated no matter what, no matter how you decide to go about viewing my videos.